Culligan is your one-stop shop for all your water needs: bottled water, water softeners, drinking water systems, and more. Culligan is leading the way with eco-friendly water solutions like our bottle-free water coolers and our high-efficiency water softeners. Water companies will come and go, but Culligan is here to stay. With over 400 Culligan stores from coast to coast, you can feel confident knowing that Culligan will always be here to service your water needs. Remember, just because your water looks clear does not mean it is clean. Once you start drinking Culligan water, you won't want to go back to tap. And with our affordable water solutions, you won't have to. All the information you need is available on our website, but don't hesitate to call if you want to talk to a real person. Culligan has 4 different ways to service your water needs. You can have Culligan bottled water at home or work, or choose one of our eco-friendly bottle-free water coolers, which makes great tasting, refreshing water, but without the bottles. There are also many reasons why I love my Culligan water softener and my 4-stage drinking water system, which make all the water I need for drinking, cooking, pets, and plants. And I especially love it for making coffee because it tastes so much better. You will be amazed how much more water you and your kids will drink when it actually tastes good. My Culligan water softener makes my laundry softer and fluffier using half the amount of soap, and I no longer have to scrub nasty soap scum in the shower. The best part of having a Culligan water softener is how it makes my hair and skin feel so soft and smooth. You can't get clean if your water is dirty, and Culligan water will bring a whole new level of luxury to your home. Culligan drinking water systems and Culligan water softeners serve 2 very different purposes in your home. One is for drinking water and the other is for working water, the water you use for cleaning and laundry. A Culligan water softener removes the hardness from your tap water. Water hardness is caused by minerals like calcium and lime that stick to everything, leaving a film that makes your glasses cloudy, causes scummy buildup in the shower, and also causes your hair and skin to feel dry, rough, and scaly. Water hardness also causes expensive problems because it clogs up plumbing and water-using appliances. A Culligan reverse osmosis drinking water system removes water impurities down to the microscopic level. Use it for everything you cook with and drink. Juices and coffee taste so much better. It would be silly and wasteful to boil pasta with bottled water, but with our drinking water system, you can do just that and more. It only costs pennies per gallon, and at that price, why not use it for everything you can? Call Culligan today and find out for yourself. Hospitals, restaurants, factories, and car washes all trust Culligan to take care of their water needs. Water purification is not an option for these industries, it's a necessity. Culligan is the behind-the-scenes hero for all these industries. Without commercial water softeners, DI systems, and water filtration systems, some of these industries would not be able to operate. We are proud that so many companies trust Culligan for all their water needs. Reliability means everything, and more companies trust Culligan over anyone else worldwide. Each water system is custom-tailored for your specific needs. Give us a call and we can work together to find a long-term solution to all your water challenges. Bottled water and coffee go hand in hand. You'll be amazed how much better your coffee will taste with Culligan water. But did you know that Culligan offers coffee service for your office? There are many coffee options for you to choose from for your business. Your employees will be happy and your clients will be impressed. Give us a call and we will custom brew a solution for your needs. When you've been in business this long, you receive many testimonials. Unfortunately, we only have room for a few of them, but nothing feels better than receiving a call from a happy Culligan customer telling us how much they love their Culligan drinking water. Clean Culligan water is like technology. We get so used to it day to day that we almost forget it's there. But when you're somewhere without it, you quickly realize just how much you miss it. Once you're accustomed to showering in soft water, you will never feel the same way about tap water again. And after drinking refreshing Culligan drinking water, tap water will no longer be an option. You can truly taste the difference. When I go out of town, it's always a reminder to me just how much I love my Culligan water softener and our Culligan drinking water. I can literally taste and smell the chlorine that before I never noticed. And where I really notice the difference is when I shower in regular tap water, my hair feels rough and my skin feels dried out no matter how much lotion or conditioner I use. There truly is a difference. DI, distilled, deionized, ion exchange, and demineralized water all relate to a single subject known as DI water. The water professionals at Culligan Water have a great deal of experience in producing DI water using our DI exchange tanks, electrode deionization, and other methods. This helps us to achieve the stringent water specifications needed for your particular industry. A one-size-fits-all solution is never a good idea, and regardless of how much information you research on the internet, there are some variables that only the water professionals at Culligan will be able to determine. Sometimes new technology is not the best technology. The pH, megohms, and desired water chemistry are all critical considerations when choosing the right method of building the perfect DI water system. One seemingly small mistake or improper water analysis can spell trouble for all your equipment downstream of your DI equipment. When it comes to properly dialing in your DI needs, the smallest mistake can cost you dearly. The water professionals at Culligan will work with you step by step to ensure every precaution is made and that you are wisely choosing the right equipment for the desired effect. Another important factor is making sure we build and size your DI system so that they can easily be changed to accommodate your company's future growth. If you do it right the first time, you should be able to easily add on to your existing equipment. Only the water professionals at Culligan Water have the experience, equipment, and the qualifications to do it right the first time. A full water analysis and examination of your needs is the first step towards being on a more profitable path. It seems like every day we hear about cities being over budget, underfunded, and simply out of money. The water treatment plants in each city were originally built to handle a certain amount of people per given area. But with today's growing population, budget problems, and the continual bombardment of water pollution in our lakes, rivers, and underground aquifers, one has to wonder what will happen to the quality of our water down the road. Our cities and municipalities do the best they can to give us safe drinking water, but I can tell you firsthand that water is not like wine. It does not get better with time. At some point, it would seem logical that our government will put the responsibility in the hands of its citizens when it comes to having clean drinking water. In some ways, this is already happening. You can add as much chlorine to make your water safe, but what does safe really mean anyway? You can't just sit back and expect the government to take care of the quality of your drinking water. Do you want to know for sure that your home has pure drinking water, or do you want to rely on what the government thinks is best for you? Have you been noticing unsightly permanent red rust stains on your clothing and linens? Did you know that this rust is actually due to iron in your water, and that this iron can cause some serious problems in your home? Besides staining your laundry, rust wreaks havoc on your plumbing, water heater, and all of your water-using appliances. Culligan offers different solutions for your home based on the amount of iron or rust in your water. For lower levels of iron, a Culligan water softener is often the perfect solution. For higher iron levels, Culligan offers an iron removal system. The trained water experts at Culligan will need to test a sample of your water to determine which system is right for your home, depending on the amount and type of iron in your water. Always be very leery of anyone who tries to sell you an iron removal system without first doing a full iron analysis on your water. No matter how bad your current water problems are, Culligan can make your water crystal clear and bring a whole new level of luxury back to your home. And best of all, no more red rust stains. Nanofiltration is like the little brother of reverse osmosis. Nanofiltration works similar to a reverse osmosis membrane, but is very different in what type of selective materials are being removed. Unlike a micron filter or an ultrafilter that does not remove dissolved solids, nanofiltration does a great job at removing TDS, or total dissolved solids, but in a very different manner than a typical reverse osmosis membrane would. Nanofiltration has the ability to effectively remove water hardness where normally that same water hardness would clog and ruin a typical reverse osmosis membrane. Nanofiltration essentially works with larger dissolved and non-dissolved solids as effective pretreatment for reverse osmosis. In the past, our only pretreatment options to reverse osmosis were sediment filtration, carbon filtration, and ion exchange water softening. But with today's nanofiltration technology, most, if not all, of the water hardness can be removed by a nanofiltration system. In some applications, a traditional ion exchange softener works best. In others, it may make more sense to use nanofiltration. Some people refer to nanofiltration as a softening membrane, but aside from the extraordinary benefit of water hardness reduction, nanofiltration also utilizes much less water pressure. Nanofiltration is often used in the textiles, dairy, drug manufacturing, and other industries. Nanofiltration is like a hybrid filtration system that can work like a reverse osmosis membrane, but also supply benefits traditionally made only with ion exchange water softening. It is important to take a close look at your water supply, specifications, and water quality needed, because depending on your situation, you have many more options to both water treatment and pre-treatment than were available just a few years ago. Please remember, nanofiltration is not a replacement to traditional reverse osmosis, because nanofiltration typically only removed half of the total dissolved solids that standard reverse osmosis would. But now, nanofiltration is a powerful tool for both reduction of TDS as well as reducing water hardness. Nanofiltration is a powerful tool you can use to incorporate, replace, or complement both water purification needs as well as pre-treatment for your expensive and temperamental reverse osmosis systems. Commercial and industrial industries require water that is consistently and reliably high quality, and outsourcing can be a smart option. However, many companies prefer to keep everything in-house, including equipment, training, maintenance, and repairs. But with today's demanding water specifications and not a lot of downtime, many companies and industries are turning to Culligan to outsource their water needs, and there are several good reasons why. Outsourcing with Culligan requires no large capital expenditures. We know it is not uncommon for water conditions to change. For example, a mechanical malfunction or any number of variables can change your needs right in the middle of the game. Other problems include time expense and downtime. Keeping your maintenance staff doing their day-to-day job properly is hard enough, but throw in some specialized water needs and machinery, and now you have a recipe for disaster. While your maintenance staff is trying to figure out the problem, this causes you expensive downtime and loss of revenue. Meanwhile, Culligan could have taken care of the problem right away, eliminating this lost revenue. Another reason to outsource with Culligan is the rapid installation and implementation you will receive with our trained water professionals. Being fast and accurate is of the utmost importance, and no one gets this type of work done faster than the water professionals at Culligan. Another problem that warrants outsourcing with a Culligan water professional is unbudgeted expenses and equipment failure. High purity water, pH, and other variables can take their toll on the most seemingly reliable materials, such as today's stainless steels and high-tech plastics and composites. Just a few simple errors regarding the wrong pH or water chemistry can wreak all kinds of havoc on your boilers, condensing tubes, plastic piping, and other apparatus. With a turnkey outsourced water solution from Culligan, these problems are a thing of the past, because you will never be hit with an unexpected or unbudgeted equipment failure. And some of the biggest reasons to outsource your water needs with the water professionals at Culligan are the ever-changing industry regulations and requirements. Culligan will help to keep your water treatment plant running smoothly in a world where the variables are constantly changing. Call the water professionals at Culligan today so we can design a custom plan to take the worry out of your water so that you can focus on your business. Unlike a residential reverse osmosis water system, commercial and industrial reverse osmosis are much more demanding in terms of quality, water conditions, requirements, and service life. Today's RO technologies are now able to remove salt from seawater, known as desalination. RO has also replaced ion exchange demineralization in some applications where water softeners were once used, such as in boiler feed water treatment, rinse waters, labs, and other applications. Construction and design of a commercial and industrial application require many careful steps in properly sizing a system. Factors such as temperature, water source, and usage are extremely important to finding the proper size and solution. Although the principal benefits and purposes of reverse osmosis remain the same, the technology involved in the production of RO membrane technology has greatly changed and continues to change all the time. Advancements in RO membrane technology continue to open new doors for both water treatment and pre-treatment in ways that were not available before. Please call and speak to one of our water professionals at Culligan to identify what type of RO treatment would be most beneficial for your water requirements and treatment needs. Does your water smell like rotten eggs? If so, you probably have sulfur in your water. Sulfur is not typically considered harmful, but let's face it, who wants to have guests over when their water smells like rotten eggs? When you think about it, water touches just about everything we have in our homes, including ourselves. And nobody likes to brush their teeth or take a shower in the morning only to come out smelling like sulfur. Culligan water professionals are experts at diagnosing and removing sulfur from your water supply. Getting rid of sulfur and odor from your water is more complex than most people realize. Culligan makes sure the sulfur is removed right when the water comes into your house. Culligan also ensures that all the plumbing and piping in your home are cleaned out and sanitized. Fortunately, Culligan has been taking care of all kinds of sulfur problems for many years. There is no reason you should have to suffer or be embarrassed by smelly and gross water. Call Culligan today and start enjoying clean water without stepping out of the shower smelling like a rotten egg. Ultra-pure water treatment refers to the most stringent, demanding, high-quality water specifications demanded by certain industries. Reverse osmosis, DI, submicron filters, and ultrafilters all play a role in making what is known as ultra-pure water. There are several organizations that set the standards for ultra-pure water purity. Some of those organizations include USP, ASTM, CAP, NCCLS, ANSI, and AAMI. Each organization has its own strict standards. It is important to remember that there is not one type of filtration system or equipment that will make ultra-pure. Rather, it is important to understand that the combination of RO, DI, ultrafilters, and other equipment make up what is known as ultra-pure water. Ultra-pure can mean one thing to a particular industry standard and mean something completely different to another type of industry or standard-setting organization. Regardless, if you are looking for WFI water, type 123 water, CLRW water, or just basic laboratory water, Culligan has a solution. Each grade of water has its own specific standards of purity that are accomplished with a series of purification steps and procedures. Before you make any choices as to which equipment you choose to get your desired level of ultra-pure, please call us first. Since there are so many combinations of different types of filtration equipment, it would be wise to consult with a water professional at Culligan. There may be a less expensive or more economical way to achieve the level of ultra-pure water for your needs. Our helpful staff has first-hand knowledge about all types and levels of ultra-pure water treatment available. Please give us a call today so we can discuss your specific needs. Ultrafilters are a category of filters that can catch much smaller particles than standard micron filters, yet they do not remove TDS, total dissolved solids. The use, application, and implementation of ultrafilters is always changing because the technology and configuration of ultrafilters is constantly evolving. Submicron filters are also in the family of ultrafilters. Today's ultrafilters are particularly useful at removing tiny bacteria that are resistant to chlorine and offer upstream filtration before water reaches or before a reverse osmosis membrane. The particles taken out by an ultrafilter could potentially clog and destroy your RO membrane. Ultrafilters are very similar to traditional micron filters, yet are able to remove extremely small particles that would otherwise flow right through a traditional micron filter. Even as you watch this video, technology is evolving, and the advancements in ultrafilters continue to amaze and open new opportunities that yesterday's ultrafilters could not offer. The water professionals at Culligan are trained to stay on top of the current technology, so as new advancements happen, we will be there to help you implement them in your industry. As with any step in your water treatment, it is important to first make sure that Culligan does a full water analysis, because it may turn out that ultrafilters are not the right option. Every detail from pH, water temperature, water chemistry, purpose, budget, and implementation are critical aspects to review before making any final choice on treatment steps for your water applications. Call the water professionals at Culligan today. We offer every type of ultrafilter available and will help you make the right choice based on your exact water needs. Today's micron filter technology is advancing so fast, it's simply amazing. Micron filters can range from 20 microns to submicron particle size. Some of today's most advanced micron filters are also commonly referred to as ultrafilters. Ultrafilters tend to refer to the most efficient and smallest micron rating of today's micron filters. It is important to remember that micron filters do an amazing job of removing suspended particles, from materials as large as silt to something as small as bacteria. Micron filters are typically used upstream of reverse osmosis membranes. Although micron filters do little if anything for dissolved solids, they are extremely beneficial at making sure your RO membranes are not fouled with suspended particles that could permanently destroy your RO membrane. Micron filters are also used on carbon bed tanks or carbon filters to make sure suspended solids do not plug up the porous surfaces on the carbon filters. Water softener and demineralized water systems essentially work towards the same goal, which is the elimination or removal of unwanted hard minerals in your feed water supply. Ion exchange water softeners and nanofiltration systems are great alternatives in some applications versus deionizers or DI tanks. Most people associate demineralizing with water softening to reduce or eliminate hard water scale. But aside from just scale reduction in water softening, demineralizing or deionization also play a huge role in the efficiency and energy saving, especially with boilers and materials related to boilers. Some industries use chemicals to treat or prevent scale inside their boilers. But even with chemicals, you still end up getting a high concentration of waste in the boiler tanks, which has to be blown down or sent to the drain. Each time you do a blowdown in your boilers, you waste money with the tremendous amount of heated water going down the drain. But if your feed water to your boiler has been pre-treated with nanofiltration or demineralized water, the blowdown cycles in your boiler are greatly reduced. Essentially, you get much more out of your boilers and water before they have to be blown down the drain. The savings from pre-boiler water treatment not only increases the life of the boiler itself, but also the water and energy used to heat the water in the first place. Give our water professionals at Culligan a call to see what options would work best for you. With today's technology, you have many options to pre-treat your boiler water, and depending on your usage, one or several options may be best for your situation. Give us a call today and let's get started. Genuine Culligan solar salt can be delivered right to your door, and you also have the option of a Culligan man filling your salt tank for you. While we're filling your salt tank, we will test your water to make sure it's 100% soft. There's no sense putting salt in your water softener if it's not functioning to its full ability. Best of all, no more having to carry heavy salt bags down to your basement or having to pick it up from a store. Culligan water softeners have the option of sensor monitoring, so your softener only uses salt when it needs to. Your Culligan softener can measure the gallons of water it uses to get you the most soft water for the least amount of salt used to clean it. After all, salt is the one thing you have to continue to purchase for your softener. It makes sense to get the most efficient system available for the best performance and minimal maintenance. We also offer salt delivery to offices and industries. You also have the option of using potassium pellets instead of salt. However, this can be more costly, and oftentimes a Culligan drinking water system makes far more sense than using potassium pellets in your water softener system. Call today to set up your salt delivery schedule, and you'll never have to go lift or get another bag of salt again. Genuine Culligan solar salt can be delivered right to your door, and you also have the option of a Culligan man filling your salt tank for you. While we're filling your salt tank, we will test your water to make sure it's 100% soft. There's no sense putting salt in your water softener if it's not functioning to its full ability. Best of all, no more having to carry heavy salt bags down to your basement or having to pick it up from a store. Culligan water softeners have the option of sensor monitoring, so your softener only uses salt when it needs to. Your Culligan softener can measure the gallons of water it uses to get you the most soft water for the least amount of salt used to clean it. After all, salt is the one thing you have to continue to purchase for your softener. It makes sense to get the most efficient system available for the best performance and minimal maintenance. We also offer salt delivery to offices and industries. You also have the option of using potassium pellets instead of salt. However, this can be more costly, and oftentimes a Culligan drinking water system makes far more sense than using potassium pellets in your water softener system. Call today to set up your salt delivery schedule, and you'll never have to go lift or get another bag of salt again. Pond and lake water can pose many challenges when trying to make this water into soft, clear, delicious Culligan water. In most circumstances, Culligan can diagnose and treat any specific water problem you may have, such as surface water, tannins, THMs, TDS, rust, iron, or sulfur. Water conditions can change as quickly as the seasons, so it's important to not simply set it and forget it with your whole house water systems. Luckily, Culligan is here to take the worry out of your water, and when your water conditions change, Culligan will be there to make the adjustments. Just to give you a basic idea, here are some of the processes of water treatment used with many pond and lake water systems: carbon filtration, anion exchange softening, chlorination and retention tanks, micron filtration, reverse osmosis, and UV light treatment. If all of this sounds complicated, it's because it is. But the only way to know for sure where to start is with a comprehensive full water analysis from Culligan. Most water analyses are free of charge, and we also have access to some of the most sophisticated water testing if more specialized testing is required. Do you have a dead or non-working water softener just sitting in your basement? A good water softener is close to 100 pounds going in empty, but once it's full of water and salt, can weigh close to 500 pounds. Removing this old system is not something most of us consider a fun weekend project. So before you call a heavy moving crew to replace that old dead water softener, call Culligan first to see if our check and adjust special would benefit you. A Culligan service technician will come to your home, check the screens, backwash adapters, and adjust timing settings to see if we can get your old system working again. If the unit really is dead beyond repair or just unserviceable, we can show you special offers for new systems, discount home show models, or rental Culligan water systems. A Culligan coupon for a check and adjust special is something you owe yourself and your home before you throw away a system that is working but just needs adjustments. Please remember, to get this special, you need to have the coupon you see here on the screen. Please print this screen or click the icon for a printable version. Many people ask us at Culligan, how is your bottled water made? Well, that depends on what kind of water you're talking about. For Culligan's highest rated premium drinking water, we start off with plain old municipal water. That means tap water. First, we typically use anion exchange water softening treatment and activated carbon filtration to remove all the water hardness, chlorine, taste, and many other water impurities. We then filter the water with reverse osmosis or sometimes in combination with DI filtration consisting of anion and cation resin filtration. At this point, the water is completely pure and there is literally nothing in the water. Ultra-pure water is great in hospital labs, but not so great in your home. When we use a DI filtration process, Culligan typically reintroduces calcium, magnesium, or potassium back into the water to give the water a fresh and delicious taste. Please remember, we are talking about trace amounts of minerals here, very small amounts, but the smallest amount can make a big difference in how your water tastes. Some people say, but you're just taking tap water and selling it back to me. That is 100% not what Culligan does. The whole process of taking ordinary water and making it extraordinary is what makes Culligan the world's leader for purification needs. The same water we have now is the same water that existed millions of years ago. Think about it. There is no new water created on Earth, and that's why we're having problems in today's world, because less than 3% of the world's water supply is fresh water suitable for drinking. But don't take my word for it. See for yourself how delicious Culligan Premium Bottled Water is. Once you try it, you'll never look at tap water the same way. On our premium drinking water page, I explained how Culligan's premium drinking water is made and processed. But what about spring water? Most people think of spring water as natural and free from alteration. If we go out in our backyard and dig deep enough to hit water, is that water suitable for drinking? As silly as that sounds, that's exactly what is happening with many of the brands of spring water out there. I'm not saying companies are digging it up in their own backyards, but technically there would be very little to stop them. When it comes to quality bottled spring water, it's just like real estate when people say location, location, location. Culligan does their homework when selecting the right source for our bottled spring water. In addition to our certified spring water sources, we also typically use carbon filtration, UV light sanitation, and ozonation to make sure your water is packaged up clean and ready for enjoyment. As far as what is the right choice, that is truly a matter of opinion. We typically sell more Culligan premium water than spring water because the premium water is more purified and refined. However, we have plenty of value customers who really love the taste of their spring water. Our suggestion is that you try both and see which one you like for yourself. You always hear talk about empty water bottles adding to pollution levels and filling up our landfills. In some cases with irresponsible consumers, that is very true and unfortunate considering recycling is so easily available and it's fun to do. Recycling is a great way to teach yourself and your kids the value of reusing our resources, just like we do with our water. When you think about it, water filtration is really nothing more than fancy water recycling. But with Culligan, you don't have to worry about plastic bottles filling up the landfill with our 5-gallon delivered bottled water. Culligan uses a special material with our 5-gallon plastic bottles, which allows us to wash and sanitize them over and over again. This means no bottles in the landfill. Culligan customers tend to be a little more wise than the average person because they already know in their hearts that having good drinking water is an important part of their life and recycling the items in their home is good for them and the future of their families. When it comes to going green, it's not really what we use, rather how we handle what we have after we are done. And what is really great about Culligan is that we also have drinking water systems for your home and office that makes high-quality drinking water where you can fill up your existing bottles over and over again to reuse as you please. For other green-friendly tips, call your Culligan man to see what we can do for you. Much of what we think of as dry skin actually has nothing to do with our skin. Hard water minerals such as calcium and lime combine with our soaps and form soap scum deposits on our skin, clothes, and everything in our home that touches water. The same soap scum you see built up in the shower and on your glasses is also sticking to your skin, hair, and clothing. It's no wonder at all why your skin always feels so dry and itchy. If that stuff is sticking in your showers, you can be sure it's sticking to your skin and clothes. It's amazing how shaving is so much smoother and easier when you have soft water. It literally makes the razor glide against your skin rather than grab and stick. But I have to say the most noticeable benefit you will feel is how soft and smooth your hair will be. And now you can buy the super expensive shampoo and conditioners because you only need a dime size amount to do the same job. You will be stunned how much less soap you will need when you have a Culligan water softener. Culligan soft water does not technically make your skin softer, but what it does do is remove the dissolved rock currently in your water. And hard water combined with soap scum is the liquid cement that is really making your skin feel so dry. Just because your water is clear does not mean it is clean, and you can't get clean if your water is dirty. Showering in hard water is like rubbing chalk on your skin each day because the soap scum sticks like glue on everything, including you. Give us a call and we can show you right in your home how soft water feels and what you can expect from all the benefits of soft water. There are thousands of articles and publications on the effect of proper hydration in our body functions. There's also plenty of literature about how drinking more water can potentially reduce the appearance of wrinkles and fine-line skin appearance. We don't need to throw water facts at you, but here's what I do know for sure. If your water tastes good and is convenient to get, you will drink more water, much more. You'll be very surprised how often you will reach for the Culligan water before you choose a sugary drink or beverage. It's really no surprise how much soda we all drink because our tap water usually tastes bad. If our water tastes bad, why would we want to drink it? Something else to think about is that Culligan can put filter systems on your home to greatly reduce or eliminate chlorine in your home. Did you know much of the chlorine we take in our bodies comes from the inhalation of steam in our showers and the chlorine absorbing into our skin? This is absolutely true, and consider how many showers we take in our lifetime. If you have the choice of bathing in chlorinated water versus clean, chemical-free water, which one would you choose? Our food we eat, the water we drink, and the air we breathe are the only true things we can control towards creating a healthier environment for ourselves and our family. If you drink more water and reduce soda intake, you are consuming far less calories and high fructose sugars. Simply by lowering your calories, you will put the odds in your favor for favorable weight loss and health conditions. Call Culligan and ask them about their specials for a Culligan whole house water filtration system with a state-of-the-art reverse osmosis drinking water system. You will experience a whole new level of luxury in your home and give your family the gift and benefits of Culligan clean water. Culligan portable exchange tanks operate using the same chemistry as a conventional water softener, but unlike a conventional water softener, Culligan's portable exchange tanks have no moving parts and don't require you to add salt or use any of your home's water or electricity to maintain themselves. On a regular basis, your local Culligan man will exchange your water softener for a fresh one that has already been cleaned and sanitized for you. So it's like having a new water softener delivered to your home every month. And since Culligan maintains the equipment, you never have to worry about any costly repair bills. Portable exchange tanks come in different sizes and can be exchanged at different time periods depending on your water usage and quality. Your local Culligan dealer can test your water at no cost and recommend which system is best for your water. Culligan will automatically stop by your home on a certain schedule and automatically exchange your Culligan portable exchange tank. No mess, no fuss, and no need to buy or fill any salt. However, I must say that Culligan water softeners are extremely efficient with salt. It's important we weigh your options closely to make sure you get the right system for your home. When I first got my Culligan drinking water system, I figured I'd just be using it for drinking. What I've discovered is that I use it for basically everything that uses water around the house. For example, my plants much prefer purified water over chlorinated tap water, and they do look much greener. And my pets always choose purified Culligan water over tap water. I'm pretty sure they can smell the chlorine. I also love how my refrigerator's ice maker uses purified water to make the ice. It makes the ice cubes so much more clear. We use Culligan water to boil and cook everything. I much prefer to boil my food in clean purified water rather than tap water. And since it only costs pennies per gallon, I can use it for pretty much everything but not feel like I'm wasting money. Once you get a Culligan drinking water system, you will find that the options of clean, purified drinking water are limitless. Babies, pets, plants, steamers, and humidifiers all love Culligan purified drinking water because the water is so clean and leaves behind no residue. I love my Culligan drinking water system, and I'm sure you will too. But to really get the full benefit, I recommend you use the filter system for everything you can. You don't have to worry about wasting money because your Culligan reverse osmosis system purifies drinking water right from home at a very low cost. Different types of arsenic in our water supplies can be a really big problem. Regardless of how it gets there, it is important to get it out of your water supply. If you live in an area where you suspect there is arsenic, it's important to get your water tested immediately. Arsenic and its different types can be tricky because they can get past even some of the most advanced reverse osmosis drinking water systems and standard filters. Because of their elusive nature and random occurrence, most drinking water systems are not ready right out of the box to take care of arsenic, pesticides, herbicides, and other complex water impurities. The type of arsenic, concentration, and environment are critical key factors to finding the right solution for your home and family. But if you're not able to have your water tested and simply want an extra level of protection, ask Culligan about their anion post filters designed to work with a Culligan drinking water system. These anion post filters are generally used to remove arsenic from your drinking water. Having this filter won't hurt if you don't need it, and it's just another level of protection you can add to your Culligan drinking water system. Everything we have can be tailored and customized to your needs. PE tanks stand for portable exchange. There are really only two ways to get soft water in your home. One would be a Culligan water softener system, and the other would be our convenient PE exchange tank service from Culligan. Same great soft water, but with no salt tanks, and everything gets taken care of automatically. With Culligan PE exchange tank service, you will never need to fill another salt tank again. And what's even better is that there are no parts or equipment to break or to need maintenance. Portable exchange tanks are a great way to get rid of hard water in your home, and so simple that you will forget they're even there. But you sure won't forget Culligan when you notice how soft your skin, hair, and clothing will be with Culligan soft water. Once you have soft water, you will never want to go back to regular tap water. And please remember, there are no magnets, electronic techniques, or pipe wraps that will give you true soft water in your home. Water hardness is a physical substance, literally dissolved rock in your tap water. Culligan mechanically removes that tap water hardness and transforms regular hard tap water into extraordinary Culligan soft water. It's a physical process that can't be done with any magnets or electronic gimmick, and anyone who tells you otherwise will be proven wrong with just a simple water test. UV or ultraviolet light with the proper light spectrum have the amazing ability to help treat and purify our water. Bacteria, viruses, and select pathogens are vulnerable to specific types of UV light exposure. Generally, a Culligan UV light system works in coordination with other Culligan filtration equipment. If you feel that you need a UV light for your home or drinking water supply, call us first. It is very important to make sure you know what impurities you're trying to eliminate, the flow rate of the water, and other water conditions to properly address your water concerns. Generally, you will also need to have the water pre-treated or softened prior to UV treatment to prevent scale and buildup. Culligan can provide a no-cost water analysis so you know exactly what equipment you need depending on your water conditions. Solutions to water problems are never a one-size-fits-all system. Everyone's water is different, and that's why it's always important to have your water tested by Culligan first. Ultraviolet light for water treatment is different than filters because they really don't take anything out of your water. However, UV light in the correct spectrum has the amazing ability to disrupt and deal with certain bacteria and viruses that can find their way into our water supplies. A good way to think about a UV Culligan water system is to understand that bacteria and viruses are living creatures. They are physically living and surviving in your water supply and can cause many problems and annoyances. The problem with bacteria, viruses, and pathogens in our water is that if left untreated, they can grow and take a strong footing in your home. UV light exposure will literally change the DNA of those little water bugs so they cannot duplicate or replicate. Then, a specialized micron or submicron filter is used to take out the small, troublesome critters from your water. If we did not use the UV light, the bacteria and viruses would simply continue to grow and live in the water. To properly remove bacteria and viruses, a common and effective method is a high-intensity UV light with post-micron filtration. But before you take any action, play it safe and have Culligan do a water analysis first. You may not even need a UV light system, and if you do, you need to make sure it's the right kind, size, and equipment for the right solution. There are many his and hers favorite things about Culligan soft water. I can tell you from my side that I love the way soft water makes my hair feel so soft. I also notice a big difference with my skin and how much less lotion I need now. Another huge benefit is that your razors you use in the shower will last so much longer. When you have soft water, you no longer have that liquid concrete or hardness sticking to the blades on your razor. With soft water, those hard minerals are gone and the blade dries clean without buildup that tears and irritates your skin. It's really the hardness roughing up your skin rather than the blade becoming dull. My boyfriend also notices how his skin is much less dry and itchy in the wintertime. I have heard him say several times how much easier it is to wash his cars in soft water because of how it dries and cleans off. I don't know much about all that, but my car sure looks shiny. Over time, you will find all the little things around your house that make you fall in love with Culligan soft water. You get used to clean water fast, and staying in any hotel with regular tap water always makes me miss home and miss my Culligan soft water.
The same water we have today is the same water we had back when there were dinosaurs. Think about it. There is no such thing as new water. The hydrologic cycle is nothing more than water evaporating into the air and finally collecting in the clouds, which eventually falls back to the ground as rain. Hundreds of years ago, this was a natural process that was free from chemicals and pollution. But think of how many cars, factories, farms, and other industries are polluting our air and water supply these days. Many countries have virtually no pollution control and dump all kinds of junk and toxins into the air. But we live in a global world, and all that pollution eventually spreads all around the world. The nuclear accident in Asia is now showing trace amounts of radiation in California and as far as Colorado and even further. All that junk and smog collects in the air and eventually falls back to the ground. And when it does, it gets into our water supply. But over time, the levels of contaminants keep getting concentrated, making the situation worse. The demand and use of oil is always increasing, and with third world countries becoming modernized, you can bet the air and water problems will continue to become worse. You would be very hard-pressed to find a natural water supply in the U.S. that has no chemicals or water impurities. There is no escaping air and water pollution, and water impurities simply do not go away or disappear. And don't forget how we bury all of our trash and garbage in the ground. Does anyone really think all that garbage will eventually not find its way into our water supply? Culligan is truly your last line of defense for keeping your water clear and free from water impurities. There are virtually no chemical or pollutant in your water that Culligan cannot remove. Culligan can't fix the world's water problems, but we can confidently say we can fix your water problems in your home and protect you and your family from water impurities. You always hear the claims of lifetime warranties and great support from many water companies these days. But what is the good of a lifetime warranty if the company has only been in business 5 or 10 years? Culligan has been around since 1936, and when you've been in business this long, you can feel confident Culligan will be there in the future. And that is what people should really look at when considering a water system. Another great benefit of Culligan water systems is that no matter where you go in the U.S., you can bet there will be a Culligan dealership there to service your water systems. So please remember, warranty offers sound great, but the most important factor to consider is how long a company's been in business and will they be there in the future. But warranties are only half the equation. When a Culligan water technician comes to your home or business, it's important to know that water is our only business. You may have heard the phrase, jack of all trades, but master of none. Fortunately, that is not the case with Culligan. Water is and always will be our #1 business, and you can count on us to continue to be the world's #1 water purification company now and in the future. Non-electric water softener companies often make the claims of superiority over so-called conventional water softeners, based on lower salt usage and elimination of electrical consumption. Their overall pitch is that their equipment offers a better value through reduced operating costs. Non-electric water softeners also like to infer that other water softeners use more water than theirs. The non-electric softeners can use 2.5 times more salt and 7.5 times more water than Culligan's top-of-the-line water softeners featuring advanced water-sensing technology. What is important to remember is that your water harness can and does change during the year. Some months our water is harder or less, depending on several factors. But Culligan's advanced technology on our high-efficiency water softeners has the ability to know when your water harness has changed. Now, how in the world could non-electric water softeners do that? The answer is simple: it can't. It is also important to remember that the amount of electricity a Culligan softener uses is only pennies per day. It's not like your Culligan system is sitting there burning up electricity. Don't be fooled by marketing gimmicks, and if you truly want a heavy-duty, reliable water softener, you want an electric unit. And please also know that if you have iron in your water, well water, or water sediment, non-electric systems simply will not work or at best fail very quickly. There is really no comparison when you look at the fine details of Culligan versus non-electric softeners. I want to leave you with a couple thoughts regarding non-electric water softeners. Non-electric water softeners typically require a pre-filter, which is another costly piece of equipment to maintain. These non-electric units have over 3 dozen moving parts and gears, and even a small speck of sand could cause a unit to fail, resulting in a costly service call. And the biggest difference is a non-electric water softener will not only regenerate when you're using water, but cause a significant pressure drop in your home. Non-electric water softeners do not have the option of delayed regeneration like Culligan does. Now imagine if your non-electric system starts to regenerate while you're in the shower and someone flushes the toilet. Now imagine the toilet is filling the entire time you're taking a shower. These are the true facts that these non-electric water softener companies will never tell you. Culligan knows that there are many choices out there for water softeners and drinking water systems. We understand that when you see a very low-priced water system in a retail store, it can be very attractive. But you have probably heard the saying, good things are never cheap, and cheap things are never good. And while you are there at those retail stores looking at those cheap water systems, you should probably bring a big truck and buy 4 or 5 of those systems if you're expecting 15 years of life or more from the service. There is a good reason most of these systems only have a 1-year warranty. But in the event something does go wrong within the warranty period of the retail units, who's going to fix them? It's not as if these retail stores have a trained water technician sitting around ready to fix these cheap systems. We once had a customer tell us that the man installing their unit said, "Sir, I don't fix these systems, I only install them." That pretty much sums it up right there. Imagine buying a car from a dealership that didn't have a service department. Sounds silly, right? Well, that's exactly what you're doing when you buy a cheap system from a retail store, because once it breaks, you pretty much have to throw it away. But have you ever tried lifting a dead water softener out from your basement? It's not uncommon for these systems to weigh hundreds of pounds once full of water and salt. Not exactly what I would consider a fun weekend project. A water softener system is the mother of all appliances because it is truly the only appliance that protects all your water-using appliance and prevents hard water buildup and makes your hair and skin feel so soft and smooth. And high quality does not necessarily mean expensive, because Culligan both rents and sells water systems for almost every budget. Culligan high-efficiency water softeners have the amazing ability to monitor your water for changing water conditions. In almost all parts of the country, water harness levels change during the year because of rainfall levels and other factors. Generic and non-electric systems simply cannot detect changes in our water conditions. You may be thinking, so what? What difference does this make? Well, it makes a lot of difference when you consider the salt, water, and service life over many years. Culligan high-efficiency systems also never regenerate unless the system requires it. Most water softeners regenerate every few days regardless if they need it or not. With a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you will use the minimum amount of salt, water, and electricity while having the most technologically advanced water softener system on the market. Many of Culligan's high-efficiency water softener system features simply cannot be explained in this video. But what I can tell you is that Culligan has taken the most dependable materials, high-tech computing devices, and put together the world's most advanced water softener systems available. For a full list of features and benefits, please give us a call so we can explain better how Culligan high-efficiency water softeners will benefit you and your family. In today's world, it's all about efficiency, and nobody has a more efficient water softener system than Culligan. A good way to think about chlorine is to think about a candy bar. You wouldn't buy a candy bar with the wrapper torn, right? Yet when we eat that candy bar, the first thing we do is take the wrapper off. That's exactly the role that chlorine plays in our water. Chlorine is the wrapper on the candy bar, but for people who drink tap water, you are also essentially eating the wrapper on that candy bar. Chlorine does a great job of keeping your water free from germs and bacteria. But once it gets to your glass, do you really want to drink chlorine? Remember when you were a kid at the pool, people would say, "Don't drink the pool water." But what most people do not realize is that tap water has about the same amount of chlorine as pool water or more. The reason we don't smell the chlorine as much in tap water is because of a chemical compound called chloramines. Chloramines is nothing more than a combination of chlorine and ammonia. Both are common cleaning agents found in many homes. I bet you would never think of adding a little chlorine and ammonia to a glass of water, right? But every time you drink tap water, that's exactly what you're doing. But please don't take our word for it. Call your local water plant and ask them for yourself. The reason city water plants add ammonia to chlorine is because it makes the chlorine last longer so it stays effective all the way till it reaches your home. A Culligan drinking water system essentially removes that wrapper from your candy bar like you were supposed to do. We are not saying that chlorine and ammonia will hurt you, but does anyone really think that additional chemicals are good for us? The choice is yours: clean water without chemicals or tap water with hundreds of different chemicals. I think most smart consumers would probably choose to avoid as many chemicals as they can for both themselves and their families. THMs, or trihalomethanes, are formed as a byproduct when chlorine is used to disinfect water for drinking. THMs result from the reaction of chlorine and or bromine when organic matter such as tree leaves are present in the water being treated. THMs are listed as a carcinogen, and our government sets limits on the amount permissible in drinking water. But let me ask you a question. Is any amount of carcinogenic compound okay for you or your family to drink? THMs are only one group of many hundreds of disinfection byproducts, the vast majority of which are not monitored, and the government has yet to clearly demonstrate which of these compounds is the most dangerous to human consumption. Chloroform is also formed in swimming pools, which are disinfected with chlorine and or hypochlorite. The chlorine and hypochlorite that come into contact with sweat, urine, hair, or skin particles can form chloroform. Both THMs and chloroform can be easily absorbed through our skin, which is called dermal absorption. So what does all this mean? Basically, there is a consequence for every action that we make, just like a bad decision can cause bad and unintended results. Nobody at first thought simple compounds such as chlorine, when mixed with organic material, could form harmful or potentially carcinogenic compounds. But just like smoking, it took many years to fully understand how bad these compounds can be. You can either be a filter for these potential compounds in your water, or you can let Culligan filter them for you. The choice is yours to make. But for my family and me, I like to play it safe and avoid all those unintended consequences with a Culligan drinking water system with our special Total Defense filtration cartridge. Did you know that America is the most over-medicated society in the world? And what do most people do when they have expired medications? That's right, they dump them right down the toilet. What is so tragic about this whole situation is that city water plants were never intended to take out pharmaceuticals from our water supply. This is a relatively new problem that has developed over the years. There are all kinds of studies now showing that pharmaceutical byproducts are causing all kinds of unintended consequences. We have all heard the stories about mutant fish, kids going through puberty at very young ages, and many new problems that we have never seen before. It's really just not feasible for city water plants to remove these pharmaceutical byproducts simply because it would be so expensive. But there is a solution to these problems: a Culligan reverse osmosis drinking water system with our exclusive total defense filtration cartridge. Regardless of what gets in our water supplies or who puts it there, Culligan can take them out and make sure your water is safe, clean, and delicious. Most of us have enough challenges in life, and chemicals and pharmaceuticals in our water supply is a problem we can do without. We would recommend a water test, but there are very few, if any, simple water tests that could tell you if these compounds are present in your water for us normal folks. But one thing we can probably count on is more continued problems with these compounds in our water. In reality, Americans are not becoming more healthy. In fact, the opposite is true. And as long as that's the case, you can bet there will be even more pharmaceutical byproducts in our tap water. Once again, you can either be a filter or you can let Culligan filter your water for you. The choice is yours to make. The biggest argument I hear people make when it comes to drinking tap water is concerns about not getting enough fluoride. But did you know there are many cases now of people actually getting too much fluoride? The telltale signs are spotting on your teeth. There are typically hundreds of trace amount of chemicals in your local tap water. After all, chemical treatment is the majority of what cities do to treat your water. However, many people seem to forget or ignore this fact and simply focus on the fact that tap water has fluoride in it, and without it they would somehow be missing out on something. I have been a Culligan man now for over 20 years, and I have been drinking purified water since I was a kid with no fluoride in it. And guess what? I have no cavities, and I've never suffered any ill effects of not having fluoride in my drinking water. With today's fluoride toothpaste, fluoride rinse, and good dental practices, you really do not need any fluoride in your tap water. I had a heated debate with my dentist once about this topic, and after she saw that I didn't have any cavities and I had been drinking fluoride-free drinking water my whole life, I think I changed her mind. For me personally, I don't want any chemicals or impurities in my water. In fact, I want none of them. If you look in a dumpster at some restaurant, I bet you could find a good piece of food buried in all that trash. That's how I feel about tap water. Yes, you got fluoride in your tap water, but you also get hundreds of other chemicals too. Is one good chemical in your tap water worth all those other chemicals? For me personally, the answer is absolutely not. I'm not a paid actor, and I'm a real-life Culligan man, and I'm telling you the truth when I say I have no cavities, yet it's been forever since I've drank tap water. Just something to think about next time someone tries to justify tap water simply because there's fluoride in it. There are really only two ways counties and cities can fix their water problems. One would be to invest more equipment and technology to actually improve the quality of the water. The other is to lower the standards of what is considered acceptable. Unfortunately, lowering the standards is what both the federal governments and local municipalities have done over the years. Almost every year, what is considered acceptable levels of water contaminants is modified and adjusted. It's almost like a teacher who is frustrated that their students are no longer A students, so they make the tests easier so more kids get better grades. That is exactly what is happening with our water supplies because ever-increasing population is putting more and more stress on our water treatment plants. It's really a process of kicking the can down the road. But the question is, how long is the road to kick the can? You can keep increasing what is considered safe levels of water impurities, but eventually we will get to the point where water is simply not suitable to drink and may have serious adverse health effects. When we arrive at that point, it will be virtually impossible to go back to what we originally started out as acceptable levels. All we hear these days is our governments and cities talking about being short on cash, underfunded, or simply out of money. None of this is good news for water treatment plants and the water quality you are expected to accept and drink. A perfect example of this is our neighboring countries to the south. These governments think their water is fine for their people to drink, but when Americans drink the water, we get sick from what's in it. I hope in the future this is not the case, but with ever-increasing national debt and budget cuts, one must wonder what will eventually happen to our drinking water standards. You can either be a filter for your water, or you can trust Culligan to filter your water. The choice is yours to make. In almost every city in the U.S., there is a local Culligan dealer who specializes in everything from bottled water to water softener systems. You may have noticed how in many retail stores or hardware stores, there are Culligan water filters and Culligan faucet filters. Culligan essentially makes two lines of products. The Culligan products you find in hardware and home improvement stores are the basic entry-level water filters and equipment. However, you will never find Culligan water softener systems or Culligan reverse osmosis drinking water systems in these stores. With almost any product and brand, there is a good, better, and best model available. Your local Culligan dealer only sells the best products Culligan has to offer. It's important to remember that your local Culligan dealer has nothing to do with these Culligan products you see in the stores. Our customers often get confused when we tell people those lesser quality filters are not really core products we generally sell at our dealerships. Some people are simply looking for a cheap, simple water filter, and that's exactly what we get when you buy from those retail stores. But if you are looking for Culligan's new high-efficiency water softeners or Culligan's new reverse osmosis drinking water system with total defense filtration, you can only get those from your local Culligan dealer. We are sorry if any of this is confusing, but what I'm trying to say is that the best equipment Culligan offers is only available through your local Culligan dealers. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call and we will do our best to answer any questions you may have. In the past, the only people who could get soft water were folks in homes, since water equipment is generally installed in the basement or outside the house depending where you live in the country. But Culligan is working on some new equipment that will let you have the luxury of having soft water, but right in your apartment or townhouse. And best of all, there is no plumbing or alterations to make, so there will be no problems with your landlord. Our new apartment-friendly water systems are no more difficult to install than putting a new shower head on. But unlike cheap shower heads, which do not filter out hard water, these new systems will give you the real deal soft water, which is so famous for making your hair and skin feel so soft. We are proud to say that Culligan is the first company to bring you such a product, and we feel that you shouldn't have to suffer with dry hair and skin caused by hard water simply because you live in an apartment, rent, or live in a townhouse. We are proud to be able to offer a service like this, and Culligan believes that everyone should be able to have soft water when taking a shower. This is a brand new system and concept, so please give us a call so we can explain more. But I can tell you personally that there is a night and day difference when it comes to how your shower experience feels with soft water. And what's even more fun is that these new systems were invented by a Culligan employee who finally got sick and tired of having to deal with hard water in their apartments. Once you shower in soft water, you will never want to go back to regular tap water. And you shouldn't have to suffer from hard water just because you live in an apartment or a townhouse. There is so much misinformation out there about water filters and water filtration. Even the most educated people often don't know the first thing about water filtration or even how it works. After all, it's not like something we're sitting around the dinner table talking about, except us Culligan people. Almost all pitcher and faucet filters use carbon filtration as a means of water purification. Carbon filtration is very effective for removing chlorine, taste, and odor. But carbon filtration does nothing to lower total dissolved solids or many water impurities in your water. But most people think if their water tastes better or does not smell like chlorine, it must be doing a good job, right? Well, I suppose some filtration is better than no filtration. But if you were looking for truly high-quality water, there is no substitute for a Culligan reverse osmosis drinking water system. And sorry folks, a reverse osmosis drinking water system is not something you can simply screw onto your kitchen faucet. We are happy that people are taking measures to improve the quality of their drinking water. But us Culligan folks also want to make sure you know the limitations of what faucet and pitcher filters can do. Many people think that a Culligan reverse osmosis drinking water system is expensive or maybe out of their league. But this couldn't be further from the truth, since most Culligans both sell and rent drinking water systems, so there's no reason to settle for second best. And one of the biggest problems out there is those pitcher and faucet filters oftentimes don't get their filters changed often enough. In fact, there is really no way to tell when those filters go bad except when the water starts tasting bad again. And one of the bad things about carbon filters is if left unchecked, they absorb many chemicals, but once saturated, start dumping back more chemicals in larger amounts and in higher concentrations. I believe you and your family deserve the best, highest quality drinking water available, and only a Culligan reverse osmosis drinking water system can provide that for you. Most of us take for granted that we will always have water and that there is an endless supply. But did you know that less than 3% of the world's water supply is considered suitable for drinking? In some states of the country, there is virtually no fresh drinking water available, and it all needs to be brought in from somewhere else. With today's ever-increasing population and strain on our water supplies, it is only a matter of time before our fresh drinking water supplies become smaller and smaller. In today's world, we look at gold and oil as being high-value items, but both gold and oil don't sustain life. Water is critical to life, and without it, we simply cannot survive. You can live without your car, gold, money, but you will not last more than 3 days without water. Eventually, the amount of fresh drinking water becomes smaller and smaller, and when that does happen, it will be companies like Culligan who will save the day. Although there is a very limited supply of fresh drinking water, there is a large amount of water that is not suitable for drinking. But Culligan can take salt water, wastewater, and just about any kind of water and not only make it suitable for drinking, but delicious too. What we take for granted today may not always be there tomorrow, but you can count on Culligan to be here now and in the future for all your water purification needs. And that is why I say water is worth more than gold, because you simply cannot survive without clean drinking water. You have probably already heard me say that you can either be a filter or you can have a Culligan filter your water for you. It's important to remember that just because your water is clear does not mean it's clean. When you pour a glass of tap water, it often looks very clear, but if you run a few hundred gallons of this tap water through a simple sediment filter, you will quickly notice how that once white filter will quickly turn brown or even black. Water is a universal solvent. It tends to dissolve almost everything it comes into contact with. That's why TDS, water hardness, chlorine, and other chemicals are not visible when we look at a glass of tap water. There are pretty much no chemicals or water impurities in your water that will immediately make you sick. But over a long period of time, does anyone really think all those chemicals will not have an effect on our bodies? Smart people think about the future and not just the moment. So consider this next time someone tells you that tap water is safe to drink with no long-term adverse health effects. It took our medical community almost 20 years before anyone started talking about the adverse and dangerous side effects of smoking tobacco. Why would it be any different with our water and all the chemicals we use to treat it? Our liver and kidneys are constantly bombarded each day with preservatives, chemicals, and many byproducts from the processed food we often eat. And it's our liver and kidneys' job to filter all this junk out of our bodies. Now throw in some chemical tap water into the equation and you have added additional stress to your liver and kidneys. To make it very simple, you can either have Culligan filter your water for you, or you can be the water filter. The choice is yours to make. I get the question all the time, what's the difference between a water softener and a drinking water system? A water softener is for your working water, laundry, dishwasher, shower, and stuff like that. Water softeners replace water hardness with sodium, which does not stick or plug up your plumbing. Sodium also washes off your skin and hair and does not stick to you or your clothing like water hardness does. Restaurants and car washes use water softeners so they can use at least 50% less soap and keep their dishes and glassware clean and clear. But in our homes, the benefits also extend to softer hair, skin, and cleaner laundry. A drinking water system is what car washes use to give you that final rinse, since water has virtually nothing in it except water itself. This water dries clear and clean, leaving your shiny car spot-free. Restaurants use drinking water systems to make their ice cubes clear and make their drinking water taste great. So please remember that a softener is your working water appliance and a drinking water system is the water intended for consumption. They are two very different appliances with two very different intentions. If a company tells you they have a water softener system that also makes drinking water, they are feeding you misinformation, and that's a fact. But just like any good marriage, a water softener and drinking water system complement each other. A softener and a drinking water system work together, so you no longer have to clean all that soap scum in the shower, and you will love the way drinking water systems for all your cooking, drinking, plants, and your furry little friends. After all, why should your pets have to drink tap water when it only costs pennies per gallon? We have all heard the saltless water system commercials on TV, talk radio, and just about everywhere. Saltless systems make the claim of taking care of hard water problems. But what exactly do they mean by taking care of hard water problems? Talk is cheap and results speak for themselves. I challenge you to find anyone who has one of these electromagnetic devices and perform a simple water hardness test for yourself. You should test the water hardness of your saltless water system, then do a water test from your neighbor's water. I guarantee you will find the water hardness levels are exactly the same. Now, if you read the fine print on those saltless system brochures, you will see where it clearly says they do not remove water hardness. The theory is that these systems change the hard water molecules so that they do not stick to your plumbing. The reason we get a water softener in our home is to prevent hard water buildup, keep our dishes and glassware clean, and to help with dry skin and reduce the amount of soap needed. All the benefits I just mentioned are attainable through simply removing dissolved rock or hardness from our water. What does one expect from a saltless water system that clearly admits they do not remove water hardness? I know the missus of the house will not be very pleased when her dishes are still hazy and spotty, and I know for sure she will not be happy when her hair and skin still feel dry and dull. Personally, as a Culligan man, I'm not too worried about these saltless water systems. However, I don't like seeing people buy something that will not give them real-world results. When we go out and buy something that costs hundreds of dollars, there's a pride factor that wants us to believe we spent our money wisely and that we didn't get ripped off. But after a while, that initial buyer's pride will wear off and you will not notice a single difference from your so-called treated water. No magnetic, pipe wrap, or anything other than a genuine water softener will give you the results you are looking for. Water hardness is a physical dissolved rock in your water. Please use common sense because no magic wand or magnet is going to provide you with any true benefits. But please don't take my word for it. Call any of our competitors and ask any company that does not sell these saltless water systems. You will hear the same story about what they really do, or rather, what they don't do.